Just want to share that last night I had this incredible experience. There's a Chevra been going around and sponsoring barbecues, going to bases. In the beginning, the food was being brought because they just partially needed to feed people. And after a week or two, the army got their act together. As they were able to take care of all these 300,000 reservists that had come in, and so there wasn't still the same kind of necessity of feeding the soldiers, but there was a necessity for some kind of outlet, just some kind of contact with the outside world, and so just some kind of sense of, you guys are making a difference, and we really appreciate it. So people started making barbecues around the country at different bases, and from simple barbecues to very elaborate, beautiful events, and with music and dancing, singing, just to bring a little calm and a little peace, and a little support to the soldiers. So the Chevra at Thank You Hashem, we got together with them, and we went to a base. A bunch of my Chevra from the shul, and the people I know. So we went to a base, and we went to make a barbecue and a Siyum. We finished Kiddush in Daf Yomi and the whole Seder Nashim. It was a big, huge thing. So there was a fellow on the base that wanted to make a Siyum. So we got it together, and it was really amazing and beautiful. And we got there, and just the whole mood and the whole sense of everything. There were religious soldiers, not religious soldiers, about 200 guys in the base. There were probably only about 100 there because a bunch of them were out in the fields. There was a stuff going on in a place called Tulkarm, and it was Levitic out there taking out a couple of terrorists, and a bunch of the guys from the base, from this particular base, were involved there. So we started meeting people, Shalom Aleichem, speaking, schmoozing, and the whole night's just starting to pick up. Guy makes a Siyum, looking at a soldier. This guy who's fighting. The guy's involved, engaged in defending the Bnei Yisrael, defending Am Yisrael, and he's got a Gemara in his hands, and he's sitting and learning every day. And even in the middle of the war, he's still learning, and it's inspirational, it's uplifting, it's amazing. Then, as we're sort of winding down, this guy comes in huffing and puffing, full gear. The guy says, "Did I miss a Siyum?" "Oh, you did." He says, "I want to make a Siyum also." So this guy makes a Siyum. A few preparations have to be made because he has to take out his cell phone, and he's got to hook onto his Chevra. The people that he wants to be with him in the Siyum, his grandfather, his father, his son, who he learns with, and then subsequent to this, I figured out it was his shir, the Daf Yomi shir. So he gets them all on the phone, great, and then he makes a Siyum with so much emotion and so much excitement. And I was talking to this guy afterwards, and we're schmoozing, and he says to me in the middle of the conversation, he says, "I'm sorry, I have to go." So I said, "Fine." He says, "It's Daf Yomi, I got to go learn." So I said, "Where are you learning?" He said, "Zoom." I said, your shir is on Zoom. He says, "Yeah." I said, "You give the shir?" He said, "Like, of course I give the shir." And where are all of his guys? They're in different platoons. They're all different places, and they're all sitting and learning on Zoom. So it was just unbelievable. So I said to somebody, what could be better than one Siyum on an army base in the middle of a war? 2 Siyumim. And then somebody said to me, 3. There was a guy yesterday who, after in davening in the Beit Knesset, he made a Siyum also. It's just incredible to me. So the whole thing was just to realize that to actualize and to see with your own eyes everything that we've been saying, that there are 2 fronts for this war. There's the military front, there's the physical front, and there's also the spiritual front, and that we're fighting on both fronts, and that there are some that are fighting on the one, there's some that are fighting on the other, some that are straddling both fronts, and it's amazing, and it's easy for us to say. I just want to throw in that on the front of Torah, there is such an increase in learning, and in the yeshivas there is such a seriousness and a sense of that we're in battle, and that we are also part of the army, and that there are people being there are yeshivas that are being very, very careful about talking and wasting time. There are yeshivas that have what's called the tainis dibur, that they're not people, not speaking, not talking, just in learning. They have cut down break time, and there are people that are learning through the night. I mean, there's just incredible things that are going on. But again, that's my world, that's my vision, that's the way I see things. But to have conversations last night, and I made it my business to sit and to schmooze, mamish, good schmoozing with soldiers, religious soldiers, not religious soldiers, and the sentiment was the same from every single one of them. The sentiment was that anachnu ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim ve'ein lanu al lemi liyisha'ein ela avinu shebashamayim. That at the end of the day, the only thing we have to rely on is that we have to rely on God. And when we said thank you to the soldiers would say thank you to us for coming and making the barbecue. Say what? Don't say thank you to us. It's thank you to you. Look what you're doing. So one guy turns to me and says, we all have a tafkid. And it was not a religious fellow. He says, we all have a tafkid. My tafkid is to be out here with a gun. Your tafkid is to be davening to Hashem and to be learning Torah. And everybody's got their place in this army. And I've been saying this for years, but I sort of get paid by the by the team. This guy, it just poured out of him, and that was the sentiment. They were so excited to see the guys who did the barbecue. This company, Chassidish guys, full gear, music guys, Chassidish guys, full gear. We had a lot of yeshivish guys, whatever. So, but they nobody saw Chassidish, yeshivish, datilumi. Nobody saw anything. There are no colors now. There's no divides. There's no anything. There's no right. There's no left. There's no more religious, less religious. Charedi, not charedi. There's none of that. It's just brother. You're my brother. Achi. That's what's going on. That's so incredible. And I'm talking about it. But I saw it last night with my own eyes and I felt it. So one of the guys told me that why do they love these barbecues? Besides the fact that food was crazy good, like crazy. But it wasn't just because of that. It was because they said they feel that their family's coming to visit. And they feel the energy of Klal Yisrael when they're out there fighting. That's just unbelievable. So I just wanted to share that because it was just amazing to me. And the schusim, I think that were in the air last night from the Siyumim, from Torah, from Kavod Torah. There's again soldiers not religious, dancing around and Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, and celebrating a Siyum Torah, celebrating the Torah HaKadosha is unbelievable. There were parts of it that were more powerful than 90,000 people sitting in MetLife. It was really just the whole concept was just incredible, just beautiful. And I say thank you Hashem for thank you Hashem, and to make this possible was really an amazing thing, and all the tefillas that we utter for every reason, all the tefillas that we utter for Klal Yisrael, that we utter for those that are captive, with all the tefillas that we utter even for those that are not in the war, but those that need a refuah shleima, and those that need the rachamei shamayim, and those that need all their tefillas answered, that the schusim of last night's event will go incredibly far in shamayim, because it was really truly an incredible Kiddush Hashem.